Good morning, all the buddies. Okay, so first of the trees next to the anthill over there, also known as Bessie's trees. Now, somebody said we didn't water them. We did. That's why there's some green things popping up. Bessie said the idea was not to have them smothered. Now, we didn't try to smother them. We gave them grass around it. And because they got watered, they had some weeds and things growing between them. So the idea was definitely not to smother them. The idea was if the weeds wants to grow, then we let it grow, because we thought that might protect cold. The main thing is just we've never had any success with mangoes on the property. So we planted mangoes with the idea that the anthill might keep them warm, and that shepherd's tree might form a sort of an overstory to keep them going. But at the end of the day, that didn't work. So as we go on, this is now 1 year, second time that we planted mangoes and second time that they've died from the cold. We will learn how to distinguish which species does survive. Like for instance, this moringa will die back into the ground every year and grow back up again, and hopefully live for enough time to create enough biomass. It is actually so cold this morning that I said to the guys, it's okay if we make a fire first and everybody just have a cup of tea just to warm up a little bit. So Im's went to go fetch sugar from the house, and Matthew is starting to get the tea ready, just so everybody can get things hot into their body. And so our climate is 5 degrees colder than Otjiwarongo. In Otjiwarongo there's mango trees that survive. That's why I thought I could plant them, because you see them there, you think they'll survive here, etc. But in Otjiwarongo there's, first of all, it's higher than us, so 5 degrees warmer at night, and then there's walls next to it. Somebody mentioned something about building a wall. I have to check that comment, but I've been thinking about building walls around the trees, creating microclimates for the ones that I want to keep warm. Even the last sheep comes into the kraal. We have a saying in Afrikaans, there's looking coming as well. So somebody asked me the other day, why do I drink coffee and not Roybos? Now Roybos is a local tea, or a South African tea, made from red bush plants. And I actually do drink a lot of Roybos, especially in the afternoon, because it doesn't contain caffeine. It's got lots of antioxidants, and it's a fun childhood memory for me as well. I want to tell you a funny story of my family. So my father grew up in a farm in the north of Namibia, very far away from any sort of civilization, but his mother was very proud of being civilized. She was sent there to give a culture to these people coming from Angola, or that was her, she felt that was her mission. People that suffered through going trekking into Angola, suffering drought and famine, and being poisoned by the locals, and then they moved back. The government in Namibia gave them pieces of land to try and survive them and try to help them. And she was a teacher, but anyway, long story short, she taught them how to eat with all the cutlery in little rows. Every fork has a place and every knife has a place. And so, every time somebody comes for lunch with them, she would have all the forks in a row like this, and all the spoons in front like that, etc. And my father would make a joke, and he would grab the fork like this and he's move away all of these things, and he says, why do I have all of these tools here in front of me? And she would feel like dying. See, there's medicine on my mustache. I'll tell you that story now as well. Let's take a walk while I tell you. Anyway, so that's the way my father grew up, very cultivated and very English mannerisms and so on. So I grew up with high tea. I didn't know that it's called high tea, or that it would be seen as a very upper class thingy to do, but we had proper tea with proper tea sets and extremely expensive cutlery, and that was the way I grew up. I didn't know people drank coffee out of mugs. I can't remember that we ever had a mug in our house. only later in life coffee became a thing. We drank Roybos tea out of when there wasn't people. We had noritakis, which is a white cutlery, which I learned later when I started buying my own cutleries, very expensive. And then when people came, we drank out of Royal Alberts, which is like pinky in the air kind of cutlery. And I remember people talking about it, just saying, wow, this is so fancy, but I never thought anything of it. I never understood that other people drank coffee out of mugs. So Roybos tea is a very fond childhood memory for me. Anyway, the white mark on my lip this year, I still need to clean off. I've been drinking stomach medicine throughout the night. I showed people a farm yesterday and they said they wanted to taste the water. So I took them to the water tank. This is some of the beans still left. You see they are sprouting new growth. Took them to the water tank and they drank from the water now. The farm's been standing empty for about a year. I don't think the water has been in the tank for a year because there was cattle in, but it definitely wasn't circled enough. And so they drank and they just raged about how great this water on this farm is. And I drank some of it as well. And as I tasted it, I thought, oh, there's something dead inside of this water tank. But I'm not gonna say this to all of these people that drank this water now. So I just said, yeah, that tastes different, and went on and showed them the rest of the farm. Came home, said to my wife, oh, I think something was off on that water. And so that's why I have this little thing here. Anyway, back to the friendly forest. So the beans are looking like they want to give it another year. Would be very interesting to see what these beans do when the rain comes again. Some of the places we didn't harvest everything, like here you see there's still some. That will either grow or it will just add organic matter to the land. Either way, I'm quite happy about it. The elephant grass died back, but it's already also shooting green shoots, which I'm happy about. There is just way more biomass on the land this year than there was last year, which I'm very grateful for. Yeah, you can see the remnants of Brendo, the naughty cow, invading the food forest. You'd think that a little thorn branches like that would stop her, but she didn't get the memo for that to stop her. The what? Sugar is... But didn't Imps fetch sugar?
Yeah, it's just small.
Small sugar?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there hot water for me as well?
Yeah, but you don't like my coffee, but you put together inside.
Yeah, I'll have the Roybos.
Yeah, we put already the Roybos.
You made the Roybos inside of the kettle like that?
Yes.
Aha. Interesting. Okay. Imps?
Yes.
Should I try to fetch more sugar?
Yeah.
Who gave you sugar? Not enough?
It's me who take it in like a small.
Oh, you were too shy to take enough sugar. We don't eat that much sugar in the house. I'll go fetch more. Want to start off this morning by thanking Mikon for the coffees last night. They really help a lot. We are applying compost into Mikon's garden this morning. Just a fine layer. This is now the first of 5 wheelbarrows that we will be applying. I want to show you something interesting. I see this all over the garden. You've got onions, for instance, and just a normal onion bed, and they all look alright. But then you get some of them that's just much bigger than the others. Look at that. And here you can see the same thing. Right next to this onion, you get that onion. Here you get the same thing. Right next to this onion, you get that onion. That means two things. First of all of my onions could have been this size already, if the soil was correct. Second of all, something happened to those onions to cause them to be so much bigger. It is definitely a soil thing. So getting our soil ready. Okay, you can see it to a smaller extent. There is just a normal onion. Go over here, and those ones are clearly much bigger. Here you can see it a bit better as well. Small onions, all of a sudden a big onion. So soil, soil, soil and soil. We need to become soil farmers. So we'll be covering everything with compost as much as we can, and then covering everything with grass to protect the nutrients in the compost as much as we can. So a couple of weeks ago we placed, well, it wasn't intended as an experiment, but this grass was placed here in the garden to see what would happen, and we can see some termite action there. But all in all, I think it was a positive thing. There's even a cricket living below there. I think it was all in all a positive thing. So we are bringing all the grass, spent grass from Brenda's camp, and we are going to place it between the layers. I think we must do those ones where we place the compost. Do the ones where the compost is first. Place everything in between the layers of plants. So we did layers of Matthew, you can put it nice and thick. We are going to put the grass between the young onions, mulch them and see how they do, and see if that doesn't have an effect on them. I think it will have a beneficial effect. See how that goes. I want to give a special thanks to Joachim Costa, Joachim, I hope I pronounced your name correctly, and Mark Stroll for the super thanks on YouTube. I really appreciate it. So this is a cactus garden coming up, one that Lisa helped my wife design, so we call it A Touch of Lisa. And it's that dude is very loud this morning. We call it A Touch of Lisa. So many of the plants are still very young. They are coming along there. They're all fatties, succulents, different ones coming along. I was thinking of polishing this crystal with a grinder and a polishing blade to make it look a little bit better. I think it's quite a nice thing to have in the garden, but there's some, you can see there's some lime or some other rock that's built up around it that you can maybe take off to make the crystal stand out a little bit more. Yeah, all sorts of different cactuses. Some we harvested from next to the road, people throwing things away. Some Lisa bought, some we had. It's all coming along slowly but surely. I think it will make our garden look very, very nice at the end of the day. There's some fire sticks there. These things we call mother-in-law's chair. These little balls with spikes. That's what we call them in our language. Mother-in-law's chair. But look at this cool one. Funky, strange thorns here on the side. I like them. So our 4 different species of lavender is also actually doing quite well. I want to get this pumpkin slaughtered today so we can use that seed. It's quite big, and I want to get the seed ready for planting, and we need pumpkin as well, so I think that's the perfect specimen to slaughter today. But for now I have to get to work, so that's going to be the end of my story. I hope you have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow.